everyone, and welcome back to the School for Professional Dog Listeners YouTube channel. Today, Julie and I are going to be having a little chat about the science and psychology behind dog listening, which is not something that we often do, actually. But as dog listeners, we often talk about the fact that when we shift our energy, our dog shifts with us. So there's this gentle kind of alignment that happens. Something changes, something improves in our relationship and in our connection. And this is what the method of dog listening is built on. But what we would like to have a chat about today is that this approach isn't just this sort of nice, gentle alternative to traditional obedience training or positive reinforcement training. There's real solid science behind why it works and how it reaches our dogs differently and how it transforms not just their behavior, but our relationships together. And, you know, when you look at any model of dog training that focuses on commands or not that I really like that word, but, you know, sit, stay, come, we tend to use the word request rather than command. And any training that focuses on reinforcement with treats or maybe corrections, they can work. But what they sometimes fail to do is address the internal state of the dog. So they sometimes fail to address the underlying stressed state, that anxiety state, the emotional reactivity, and actually confusion. And without shifting that, the changes in dog behavior tend to be temporary. How would you put that, Julie, or how would you go on from there?
Yeah, 100%. It's the temporary aspect of it. It's not necessarily that it doesn't work, and actually, as an advanced level, let's say, it can be reintroduced. But what we're talking about is the foundation, and that's where the sort of sciencey aspect comes from, because we're talking about natural leadership. And natural leadership is something that we humans get all hung up on, the whole leadership thing, the whole pack theory thing. It brings about words like dominance, control, be more assertive, all that kind of thing. And that is the polar opposite of what we're talking about here. The science behind it is the knowledge that when our dogs feel safe, they will be calm, they'll be behaving the way that you want them to. And the safety aspect comes in when they see someone else responsible for their well-being. And we've got to remember as well that if a dog is given this responsibility of looking after the family or the pack, they live in our world. Like, they just can't do that. And so even the most sort of calm and the most maybe, oh, I can't think of the right word, when a dog is free living and they are able to take on that role of the pack leader, or the one that makes the decisions, the responsible one, then even those kinds of dogs with that sort of personality, when they're in our world, they're not free living, we're talking about domestic dogs here, they just can't take on that role, because they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand where the food's coming from. They don't understand cars and bikes and all
Yeah,
our world.
yeah.
So so that's where the sort of sciencey bit comes in. That's the basics. That's the, like, fundamental.
Yeah,
You need
I
to,
think I wonder whether we also forget the fundamental of the fact that dogs are group living animals.
yeah.
Many people call them social, which I'm not sure I fully agree with. They're family based. And
Yeah.
this
That's
means that they have a natural structure in their group.
Mhm.
Any animal that lives in a group is looking for that natural structure. Um, and that, I think, is what dog listening helps with. It meets their need um, of, what's their, what it provides for them what they're searching for, that um, that knowledge of who is the established natural leader. And in this world, we cannot allow it to be our dogs. It's too
no,
stressful for them.
it's just way too stressful. And just to pick up on that point you said there about the social thing, that gets so mixed up and confused because yes, they're social animals within their family structure, not between family structures, which is why when we go out with our dog for a walk and they get stressed and upset and worried about other dogs that they're meeting, they're either over exuberant and over friendly, or they're like, "Grr," or they just want to run away. That's normal. That's
Yeah,
natural. That's part of the science. That is how it's meant to be. But within the family structure, then they are social creatures, and that's where we
exactly.
look
It gets really misunderstood, that.
mm,
Yeah.
really misunderstood, and it can.
And what I love about when we talk about natural leadership within dog listening is that we are never, ever talking about a sergeant major, shouty, bossy, dominant leader.
No,
That's not the kind of leader that um, any of us particularly strive to be, I think.
no, it's definitely
What
not my aspiration. It's like no.
we're just providing this calm, confident
Mhm.
guidance that dogs instinctively look for within their group.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is that simple. It's just us being ourselves, to be honest, because we're living in a world we understand, it's actually very easy for us to make decisions for our dogs. Once we understand what's going on with them and we understand that they're feeling stress and fear and worried, then of course we want to take that from them. And of course we want to make the decisions for them that we know will help them relax.
Mm.
It is really simple, but we can
Mm.
get really caught up in, oh, well, I need to be more assertive, or, I need to be more controlling, or, all of these kinds of things. I need to be more dominant. I need to make myself bigger and stronger. And it's like, no, you don't need
Yeah.
any of that. All you need
I
to do is make the decision.
I think that comes there's a lot of confusion and actually a lot of controversy about the word pack
Yeah.
and pack theory, which often is, when we're talking about leadership,
Mm,
this is often something that people get confused about, and there's a lot of emotions, I think, in the dog world about this term. Um, I think, in my view, pack theory has been twisted over the years, actually, into quite outdated ideas about what you were saying about dominance and control. That's not what we're talking about within dog listening.
no.
We're never talking about dominance and control. The only thing we talk about in terms of control is controlling our environment, isn't it? We
Yeah.
control the situation and then we don't need to control our dogs.
Yeah, I love that word, what you just said there, twisted. It's
Mm.
the whole pack theory, the subject has been twisted because it's not that it's not a thing, but it's twisted. It doesn't get described in the correct way, or what
Yeah,
I would view as the correct way anymore. And
yeah,
that can really um sort of veer people off in different angles, different spaces. Whereas if we can just start to understand that we're talking about natural leadership, not dominance.
yeah. We are not ever suggesting that our dogs are trying to dominate us. We are not um, suggesting that our dogs are these evil masterminds trying to climb the ladder to be, the dominant member in the family. But what we do believe is that they're trying to feel safe,
Mhm.
and then they will try to keep us safe. And sometimes they may feel that they are fully responsible.
They need to climb that ladder. Like they feel like they have to climb the ladder.
Yeah, they have to.
They don't want to. 99.9% of the time in the domestic world, anyway,
Mm,
they don't want to because they don't understand it up there. But if
mm.
they can't see somebody displaying that calm leadership and making decisions for them, then they will take it on themselves and they will take themselves up that ladder. And that's where,
And that is why I truly believe that dogs are angels on this planet, because they will do whatever they can to help us.
to keep everybody safe because it's literally life or death for them.
The problem is it doesn't always look like they're trying to help us,
No, it
but
doesn't.
they are always.
Yeah.
Whatever their behavior is, they're trying to help us. They've just got this confusion, this confused reason.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, which actually leads us on quite nicely to what we were talking about earlier, emotional contagion, which is essentially a fancy word for the fact that they absorb. They don't just mirror it, but they actually absorb our energy because they are so sensitive in a way that we just are not because we're so up in our heads, in our thinking minds. That's fine. That's a natural human place to be. But for our dogs, they are, it's why we love them so much. Let's be honest. It's because they get us, they understand us, they feel us.
mm,
And because of that, innocently, we can put too much on them. And then that's when they really start to feel it. And then you start to get some crazy behaviors.
yeah. I like that you just said innocently, because, it's not our fault. We are
No.
having a human experience, and, with that's what happens. In our busier than ever world, we get stressed.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can.
We're always doing the best we can. It's just sometimes when we're stressed and when we're feeling a bit spiky, probably our dogs will feel that as well.
They really will. I mean, it's just the more that I work with different people, different clients, different dogs, the psychology behind it, that. What's Ludo up to there? Just getting distracted by him.
I know, me too. It- just finding a newer place to snuggle down. Yeah, it's just nesting.
Yes, and that I often say, sorry, I'm sidetracking now, but I often say to my husband, I think I'm going to come back as a dog. I'm just going to lie by the fire, but I want to be a dog in a dog listening household because I don't want any of the stress and the responsibility of looking after
Yeah.
the whole family. I just want to be the one that's going to lie by the fire and get my tummy tickled.
Yeah. Funnily enough, my husband always says he wants to come back as one of our dogs.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, but just bringing it back to energy, that's why dog listening places so much emphasis on calm energy,
Mhm. Yeah.
because we know that our dogs can't really relax until they're feeling that we're all right, we've got ourselves covered, we've got life covered. Um, so it's much less about, talking about words and commands and things like that. It's not really about that. It's about who we're being and how we're being.
How we're showing up for our dog.
Mm.
And the other thing, just to point out, is that we can't lie to them. We can't pretend. You know that thing where it's like, well, just be more assertive and that you'll be fine. It's like just they just know because they are way more sensitive than we will ever be. Um, and for me, that's the beauty of it because they are such a wonderful guide. I mean, I can remember with Fudge, I would be feeling, I would think I was feeling fine. In my head, I was feeling fine, but she would be being a bit, on edge and a bit more reactive to things and stuff. And I'd be like, what's going on with her? And then I'd sort of settle down myself and realize that actually I was like this. I just hadn't noticed.
That's so funny because that's exactly what was happening between me and Chili. And I talked about Chili with Kate last week on one of these videos. And yeah, she was my mirror and I hadn't realized it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, bit slow.
No, yeah, I did. Sorry, Chili. Thanks for waiting for me to catch up. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that really is, I mean, we're kind of joking. Well, we're not joking, but we're laughing about it. But that really is the psychology. That is the psychology behind it when you look at dogs and humans. And actually, that is the one thing that the vast majority of even traditional methods will agree with. Do you know? Because with even with like, rewards or commands or any of that sort of thing, you you always hear, the human has to do something. It just This is a bit of a generalization, but it tends to be a bit more judgy and a bit more like you need to change yourself. Whereas we're really coming at it from you don't need to change yourself, you just need to be more you. Because when you're being more you, that's when your dog is happy because your dog wants you to be more you. Your dog doesn't want you to pretend to be somebody else. That's not helpful. And it's certainly not showing any kind of natural leadership when you're essentially trying to fake it for your dog's benefit. Again, 100% innocent, but dog listening is just so simple and so gentle
Mm.
that yeah, I love it.
And it works because it makes sense to the dog.
Yeah.
And you can see that. That's the bit that you can really see.
Mhm.
When we put it all together, so we're talking about natural leadership, this emotional sensitivity, and a calm presence,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
makes sense to the dog, and that's why dog listening works.
Yeah. They can sense, they can feel it. They can feel it.
They can feel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, that brings us to the end, I think, of today's conversation. Thanks, Julie, on the science and psychology behind it all. Um, Join us next time to hear about what it's really like to be like Julie, Kate, or I, and many others, to be a professional dog listener. And if any of this has sparked your interest, please remember to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you're enjoying these dog listening conversations, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sally. Bye.